Welcome to Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast featuring WVU football players and coaches during Spring Practice 2022. Presented by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance. Here are your hosts, Amanda Mazey and Dale Wolfley.
This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome into this week's Climbing the Mountain video podcast brought to you by Country Roads Trust, West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team, and of course, Encova Insurance encircling you with coverage. And Wolf, well, of course, this is Dale Wolfley. I am Amanda Mazey. Wolf, this show is all about D-Line. They've been so good, they need to be good again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to need to be good for success for the Mountaineers. But the Greedy Gang, I think they're up for it. I think you're going to see a lot of fun here with Coach Jackson and the other players. And I think you're going to see great leadership. I think you're going to see some youthful talent and some guys that are right in the middle that are really figuring out where they're coming from. You know, they're starting to step up and realize they got to be the playmakers now, not just the young guys.
Absolutely. A lot of depth on this D-line this year. We're going to touch on that and a whole lot more on this episode. We only have one more to go next week. That's going to be after the annual Gold Blue game. Of course, the game is this Saturday, 1 p.m. You can still get tickets for $10. Wolf, you and I are going to be on the ESPN broadcast with Andrew Caridi, so that will be exciting. But don't forget, you can find Country Roads Trust on social media. You can listen to this podcast audio only on Anchor, Spotify, and Amazon Music, and find us all over social media. Like I said, you can find all of the handles right down here on this graphic. See the graphic right here.
I'm looking at it right now. There you go. It's right there.
All right. We're going to have a lot of fun in our second to last episode. We'll be right back, and joining us will be defensive line coach Taijh Jackson. Stay with us. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain. Our very first guest is Taijh Jackson, defensive line coach. And tell you what, Wolf, this gentleman right here has quite the crew. Quite the players. First of all, Coach, the Greedy Gang. I love it. So, Coach, the Greedy Gang, a lot of these players have talked about this. Who came up with that? The players? You?
Oh, it's definitely not my work. It's more so the players. They let me join the crew when I came in last season. So,
well, let's talk about you. This is your second season here, your first kind of full spring, let's be honest, because last year with COVID and everything. How has this spring gone with a full practice season? In your eyes, how is it going, especially with the game on Saturday coming up?
it's going well. I think the crew's gotten better every week. I think you obviously know Dante Stills and Taijh Alston. Those guys have been starters here, but Jordan Jefferson's coming along great into a starting role. Sean Martin's gotten a ton better. Zeiqui Lawton's been a great spark plug. Jalen Thornton. So, I mean, we've been trending upwards since the beginning of spring camp.
It seems like what you're saying is all these players all have different characteristics that build the defensive line as one.
Absolutely. They keep me on my toes because I can mix and match so many guys. But I'm coaching a bunch of individuals because they have such different skill sets and different body types, but they all are effective in their own way.
Can you talk about the veterans? You have Dante, Taijh, and you have the new guys. Just kind of talk about what you're expecting from the veterans and who of the newcomers or younger guys, you mentioned them, but a little more in depth, who's really, on your radar?
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as the older guys, Dante and Taijh, looking for consistency and having, another set of coaches on the field to help me out. And then from Jordan Jefferson, just again, a guy that played well in a limited role, just taking over and owning that starting position in the middle of our defense, which is so important. And then I'm looking for a breakout year from Sean Martin. I think he showed the right flashes. I think he's going to be a major contributor. I think he can almost, fit in like he's a starter. Zeiqui Lawton, another local guy, has been a great spark plug. He lost his way his first semester at college and found home. So, but he's been doing great. And then Jalen Thornton, another legacy in my room, is trending in the right direction as well too.
I look at your history, and I have to go back to this because I'm going to lead to this. But at LIU, Long Island University, you were not only a 3-year starter, but you were a 3-year captain. Did I read that right?
Yeah, I was a 3-year captain.
So again, what does that do for you, knowing 3 years of captaincy and bringing it to your defensive players about leadership?
Well, again, I think the biggest thing when I was a young captain was I just tried to do things the right way. I didn't really say too much. So again, I just tried to do what I was supposed to do. And that wound up setting a good example. And then when I had more knowledge of what was going on, spoke a little bit more and tried to encourage. I never tried to exactly follow my coaches, but I tried to get everybody going the same way with a positive vibe.
Coach, what do you want the identity of the defensive line to be this year?
To be the most physical, nasty group in the Big 12 and then take that nationally.
Obviously, the defense has really been strong the past couple of years, kind of been the identity of this team, the most consistent of both sides of the ball. What are you expecting this year? I would imagine that the bar has been set. We're going to stay there, and we're going to go even higher.
I think we're going to, take it a step further by adding more contributors to the party. Like, I would love to play 8 or 9 guys a game up front and keep guys fresh going into the season. I'd love to see Dante Stills have a bona fide backup. Taijh Alston have a bona fide backup, so those guys are hitting on all cylinders going into week 12.
Speaking of which, Akeem Messidor, obviously a loss that hurts because of on the field a good young man, off the field a good young man, on the field a really good football player. How do you move the defensive line on from that? Because I know they had good relationships with him.
Just got to rely on what we have. I think we have a really good skill set, and we're not going to try to replace his production and the way he plays. Just use the guys with their abilities and their talents and keep it going forward. We're plenty deep, so we're good to go.
Do you feel like JJ is going to be the one that kind of steps into that role?
Definitely. He's going to do it in his own fashion. He's more of a Mack truck, and there'll be some bodies moving in the middle of the defense for sure.
Definitely. Talk about that depth you have this year. I know you said you want to roll some guys in, have some backups. How nice is it to be able to play with that?
It's good for a sense of, I think it's good for camaraderie because everybody feels like they're adding to the workload, which is great. And then again, it's a good way to get guys experience by putting them in situations to use their strength as you're getting them to be a more well-rounded player.
Talk to me about Dante and Taijh. Now, they each have their own special gifts. And I know I've been watching Dante since at Fairmont High. Let me say at Fairmont West. Okay, I don't want to get that screwed up. Fairmont West. And Taijh, coming off those 2 injury-prone seasons or season-ending injuries, where are they at and how good can they be? Because they both look like they're ready to jump off the field, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dante for sure is a naturally gifted kid, and for him it's just more so slowing down his mind. He's a special player. He doesn't have to go out and make special plays. He just needs to play the game the right way, and those plays will happen because he's special. Taijh is one of the hardest working human beings I've ever coached, and for him it's more so of just making sure he keeps his body well off the field because he plays so hard. So again, get him a bona fide backup so he can be fresh going down the stretch.
Throughout this spring, what did you want to see out of your guys personally?
Consistency. I want us to be bad boys from the first snap to the last snap. I don't want those peaks and valleys. Even though we are in the mountains, I want to keep trending upwards.
Have you seen that this spring?
Absolutely. And that's been – it's great to see what you want when you coach come out in the field. And the consistency piece has definitely been prevalent throughout practice.
We've been talking to the boys mostly about the chemistry in the room. How do you see the chemistry? And we talk about who's the jokester, who's the leader. Obviously, we know the older guys are, but – who else brings it to the table? Well,
I tell you this, and I'm the biggest kid in the room, and I think that I have the worst jokes from the biggest kid in the room. And again, I think those guys just feed off each other. I try to make it a learning environment, but the most fun thing they're gonna do of the day is gonna be a part of each other since we spend so much time together. So we're gonna laugh, we're gonna joke, we're gonna cry, we're gonna fight. We're all gonna do it together.
What would you say throughout the spring? What's the really bright spot, and we got to really work on this heading into the offseason, into the fall?
I think the bright spot has been the amount of guys that contributed, but still, I would still love to be more consistent throughout the day. Again, those ups and downs, those what the heck are you doing plays, we have to limit those. And again, it's more so the guys trying to make a special play than just doing the routine play and being a special player.
How nice has it been for you to have this entire spring? Obviously, last year was your first year, up and down with COVID and all the stoppages and whatnot, players out. But for you to have this full spring, have a spring game, all the fans, what's that like and what is it going to be like on Saturday?
It'll be special. I mean, we had some fans in the stands last year, but now this feels like a normal set of football coaching weeks as opposed to some days on Zoom, going to get tested. There's none of that. It's just back to pre-pandemic football, which we all, loved.
Let me ask you this. Is you have players that are seniors, you have players that are juniors, sophomores, and now freshmen, I think with Z, that will be contributing. How do you control that old to that young to make them all even keel, enough ready to play, and obviously go at least 2 deep?
Well, I mean, I think just from being a lineman yourself, Wolf, that playing D-line, it can be humbling, right? You can get kicked in the teeth, knocked down. So they get humbled on the field enough where it's pretty easy to control. And again, I try to use guys' strengths for their best of their ability. So if it's a pass situation, maybe I get Torres Simmons in there. If it's short yardage, maybe I get Jalen Thornton in there. So putting them in a situation they can succeed, I think, is the biggest key to using all the depth.
I know that you've said that Z has like this incredible amount of football knowledge. When you have a kid like that who lives, breathes it, really has that knowledge, is that kind of a special player to coach because maybe they're made a little differently?
Absolutely. So he kind of sees the game like a coach, so I could have what I call higher level football conversations with him. The biggest thing I do is try not to give him too much information to paralyze him.
Make him think too much, right?
Yeah, exactly
No
right.
thinking.
No thinking, right?
Now you're talking my language. I hate to think.
One of the key words this spring has been the defense needs to play more man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell your defensive line? Because that's cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do for the defensive line?
It doesn't matter the coverage. We have to affect the quarterback. There's holes in every coverage, so it doesn't matter we play behind us. As long as the quarterback has that ball for a short amount of time, or he's on his back, I think it'll be a good thing.
Can you talk about some of the guys you have coming in this summer and the fall? We've talked about the guys that are here on campus, but what are you excited to see, in this summer and fall?
Number one is Asani Redwood. He led the state of Georgia in sacks this past season, so I'm excited to see that natural pass rush. Plus, the kid over his span from moving to the United States and Jamaica, with 3, 4, 5 year span, has gained 60 pounds. So I'm excited to see his physical physique. And he's gone, in Georgia, they play soccer in the spring. He's playing soccer right now. So kid's a tremendous athlete. I'm excited to see what he can do on the football field.
Wow, think about that footwork. Playing soccer,
Absolutely.
Wow, that's pretty big. I'm a defensive line guy. You're recruiting me. What's good about WVU defensive line play, that how you tell these guys? Because you get a lot of TFLs and you get a lot of sacks.
Yeah. The taking ability in this defense is definitely there. But, again, I think it's the versatility where you're going to play multiple positions, line up in a ton of different locations, and do a lot of different things where, if you want to go play at the next level, your resume is going to be pretty deep.
If you're looking at the stats from last year, what did you say, we need to do better on paper?
We need to stop the run versus teams that like to run the football a lot, and we need to have more pass rush down the stretch and end of half 2-minute drills. We need to affect the quarterback more.
When you're coaching out there in the field, are you more about effort? Are you more about technique? Obviously, are you both? But what are your main points of strategy and coaching?
Effort, consistency with effort, 100%. If a guy plays hard, I feel like I can coach him to do something the right way. If you're coaching effort, I feel like they wind up hating me. Telling me to move all the time.
So spring game comes and goes on Saturday. Then what is next for you guys?
Hitting the road recruiting, go to find the next Mountaineers.
Oh, very good. Now, spring game, go back to that. What are you looking for those guys? We don't consistency, but what do you really want to see out of them from the start of the spring game to the end, where you're going to be at least satisfied enough to say, hey, that was a good spring?
I don't want to see any stage fright, even though some of these guys' first time, playing in a big situation with 70,000 in the building. And I say 70,000 of the people out there. Hopefully everybody comes a nice 80-degree day. But I want to see those guys when the big lights turn on to be relaxed, poised, and play good football. It's still a child's game, even though there's 70,000 people watching you play.
And I know this spring game is going to be more of kind of like an actual game. So, how exciting is that to really kind of simulate as much of a real game as you can and not so much of the fluff?
Oh, it's definitely exciting. We don't only get to play our sport, only in the fall. So it's good to have a live action and combat out there, referees, people out there looking at us in a good environment.
When you get into the weight room, okay, and the guys are there, and they've already said that the Greedy Gang's a bunch of characters. They like to have fun. Are they going at you? Are you doing any kind of competition with them? Maybe not JJ, but
No, I steer clear of the physical components of it. I don't want to have to go see Vince anymore, be in the training room. So I let those. I poke my fun at the top of the stairs and stay away from those guys down there.
That's a good idea.
Talk a lot of smack, but stay away.
Absolutely,
keep the distance.
Absolutely. I don't want to get pinned under 225 down there. Coach Joseph be on it too.
I don't think that would happen.
That'd be embarrassing, right?
It definitely would.
Well, Coach AJ Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We're excited for the spring game and this fall. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really excited, especially the Greedy Gang. I think we really need to come out with some T-shirts. Man and I have been talking. Greedy Gang. Let's see what they can do. hey, walk the walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
you
we
know?
go. Get the Country Roads Trust on it. We'll get.
I know,
it'll be
right?
nice.
We can get this done.
No, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
I appreciate
Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk to that 1-2 punch, Dante Stills and Taijh Alston. Stay with us. You're watching Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. We'll be right back. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain. And Wolf, we have a big 1-2 punch here from the defensive line. We have Dante Stills, Taijh Alston. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
All right, first of all, how is spring practice going and how excited are you to have this game this Saturday?
I feel like it's going good. I feel like each practice with our defense, we get better and better each practice. So if you do that as a defense, I feel like you're making strides in the right direction.
Yeah, so I agree. I feel like we're just having fun out there, just flying around, just going through just basic, calls, stuff like that to get through. Not get through, but just the young guys and stuff like that. So I think we're having fun, just enjoying it.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're having fun. And this question is for both of you because I always ask, and especially I want to hear from you two because you're the leaders, especially of the defense, but really of the team. What is good for Mountaineer Nation? What is going on good, either on the field or off at WVU?
What's going good? I'll say one of the things that's going good on the field. I feel like we really tightened up as a group and became a family. Like I really do feel like that on the field, but off the field, like I feel like I'm keeping my grades up.
Yeah,
everybody
grades doing good. Stay in class, stay in school. I'm in classes right now.
Because you're feeling really good because you're almost done with it.
Yeah,
You should be a doctor by now, Dante.
I need to be. I graduated, last December. So school is just I'm still full time, but I feel like just on the field, I feel like we're all clicking, like he said. We're all just flying around, just having fun, just talking crap, but that's how it is. You're on the field between the lines. It's kind of just it's all love. But at the end of the day, we're all teammates. So
and we competing we doing a good job at competing with. I feel like everybody just trying to get better and go as hard as they can while trying to keep everybody off the ground and healthy as well.
The defense has really been a staple in this football program the past couple of years. You guys have really just been hard knocks out there, making your presence known. And I would imagine that you want that same thing this fall. So talk about just the pieces of the puzzle, you guys coming back obviously as veterans, but some of the new guys are going to be kind of, filling in as well.
I just feel like young guys are. I feel like they're progressing in the right direction. Especially the guys that came in early. They went through a whole winter workout with Mike Joe, and then the 15 practices that we're going through right now. And I just feel like it takes time. I tell them it just takes time to get them reps in and just get the good feel of college football. But I just feel like we're just improving every day, and I love to see it. So.
Yeah, and I feel like this spring was very vital for them as far as practicing on the college level and things like that. Some is grasping faster than others, but all of them's coming along, I feel like, and they getting the hang of things.
Taijh, I have to say to you, 2019, 2020, not good for you personally for injuries. Now, I got to tell you, man, I got total respect for your character, your discipline, and just you being who you are as a leader out there. Can you tell us about those years and what it took for you to be part of the honorable mention of the Mayo Clinic Comeback of the Year?
It was a lot, man. I'm not going to sit up here in front like I didn't have bad days. But I just knew I wanted to play this game and I wasn't ready to hang my cleats up yet. So I just knew if I worked hard on every day 100% on coming back, I knew I would come back. And it surprised me a little bit, but I wasn't shocked because I knew I put in all the hard work. But it's amazing to me, you feel me, if you don't give up on something you really love, it'll come through for you.
You guys are really that 1-2 punch literally out there on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. Talk about your relationship, on the field, off the field, and just making sure you guys are both on the same page.
This is my dog. You know what I'm saying? This is my right hand. This is my, this is my dog. So, I feel like, on the field, I feel like we both know what, we want, in this game. Of course, our main goal is to go to the next level. and compete against the best. So it's really just like, I mean, like we've had like conversations off the field about, you know, family and all that stuff. I mean, I just feel like we're just, you know, closer than, because like what happened, you know, like I said, 2019, 20, he was hurt rehabbing, so like that bond on the field wasn't really like there until, you know, last year. Now we're making plays together, you know, getting hype, you know, all that stuff. So like it just brings us together, you know, every game, every practice. So.
Yeah, and then we both very competitive as well. Like, so if I see Tay get a play, I'm like, I gotta make.
So you really push each other out there to make each other better. That's awesome. That's like the epitome of being a great teammate.
Sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Dante, I affectionately, with a lot of love, because I've watched you play probably for 9-10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You're the pops of the group, man, and you have 47 career games. You've been lights out. Where is your mind at now that you are almost there? You're almost done with your last spring ball, and now you're launching on to what you hope to be a good year, and then to the next level.
You know, just going through spring ball, and it sucks that, you know, it's going by quick. Like, it really is. Like, there might be some days where it go by slow, but the overall it's going by fast. So I mean, I don't want it to end, but at the same time, I want to get to the season. So you know, with me, I'm just taking it day by day. You know, and I'm enjoying my time, you know, here with the coaches, team, and, you know, D-line. I'm just trying to enjoy every day. And I'm just taking it all in, you know. I don't want to miss a beat or a memory that, you know, I should have remembered. Yeah, so I'm kind of just trying to soak it all in. Just, you know, I'm trying to be there for my guys and win. That's kind of the whole thought process to the whole thing. I'm just trying to win. So that's it.
For sure, it goes by quick, but like Dante said, taking it one day at a time has been really big for me. Like, and it really helped me a lot. And I feel like when you rush things, like, nothing that you think good is that you think gonna happen is gonna happen. You feel me? I feel like it's just better for you to take it one day at a time and just live in the moment and work as hard as you can in the moment.
Absolutely. You're watching Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast sponsored by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage. Dante, talk about that decision to come back. You could have gone into the draft last year. You chose to come back. And I know that you have said that you were looking at your film. You still had a lot more to prove. Now this is your last spring practice. Do you feel like you've sort of gotten to that point where you're like, okay, I've kind of gotten over that hump. I'm kind of like where I want to be to get to where I want to be by the end of the season?
I definitely think I went over the hump, you know, in the mindset. Because, you know, over the, you know, especially I'll say the first couple years, you know, I was just young, just out there, just running off this pure talent. And now, like, just, you know, just talking to, you know, Coach Brown and Jansen and, you know, scouts, I'm getting information from scouts. It's like, I make plays and all that. That's cool. But, like, the D-line, it's all about how you play it. Like, it's not about, like, you know, sacks. I mean, of course, that's, you know, that's what they want. At the same time, like, I want to be consistent in my play. And I feel like I haven't reached what I wanted to be yet, but, like, I'm going to, you know, by game one for sure. And, you know, I'm just trying and just improve my craft every day.
Absolutely. Taijh, when was the first time you knew that you were back and ready to go, when you felt that confidence? Because you know, you come off an injury, and especially two, and it's like, yo, you know, am I okay?
Yeah, I would say spring ball, because, like, when I came back the end of the season with my Achilles injury, and then I had a great winter, and then leading into spring ball, it just felt right, so I just knew I could play. But I was, like, in the beginning, I was, like, skeptical at first, but I knew I put in a lot of hard work to get back to where I am. So once I did that first get off and got my first sack in spring ball, I already knew I was back.
All right, Put your coach's hat on here. What do you think is the strength of this D-line so far through the spring, and what do you guys still need to work on before the fall?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the strength it's our versatility. And I feel like, you know, our D-line can play across the board. They can play 5 technique. I feel like, you know, I could play 5-3-1 nose. You know, I feel like he could play some 5-4 eyes, some threes.
I could pass rush.
He could pass rush. So, you know, you know, JJ, he moves around. He's just a big guy in there, you know. And, you know, Sean Martin, I feel like we're all just versatile. We're always moving across the line. So I feel like in certain situations where, you know, hopefully, you know, I hope this don't happen. You know, if someone goes down, you know, we need someone to I feel like we're all prepared in that situation.
For sure.
You know, Taijh, you were second on the team in TFLs with 11. You had 5 sacks in one season. Excellent year. By the way, not only are you back, you're ahead of where you were.
Yes,
so you've absolutely improved. And Dante, you are third all time with 43 and a half TFLs. Did you know that? Yeah, you knew that, right?
I did, because like I think they posted it after the game or something like that.
But you're also 6th all time in sacks with 19. Ooh. And how much is this defensive you just mentioned that versatility and being able to attack and make plays rather than hold up an offensive lineman for others? How much has that impacted your career? Both of you.
I mean, I just feel like it made us more hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we call it a greedy gang. I feel like, you know, if it's a run play, you know, the D-line got to stop it before it gets to the linebackers, or if it's a pass play, you know, I feel like just us getting back there in time, just that quarterback or cause a pressure can help the defense out. So that's just kind of how our thought process is.
Yeah, same thing that Taijh was saying. Like, I feel like it helps us. Like, we all competitive. So with us, everybody wanting to make a play and hungry, I feel like, I don't know, when you got a group of guys like that and everybody's hungry, ready to make a play, and everybody's fast, flying around, like, it just makes everything much easier, but it pushes you as well. Because, like, if you're not making no play or doing what you're supposed to do technique-wise, but others it's going to make you feel left out, so you're going to want to get on board with that.
Who are some of the new guys, the younger guys that are really impressing you guys?
I mean, I think Z is
Z.
Yeah, like he came in and made a big impact on D-line. You know, he's playing the right technique. I feel like he's playing hard. He's a hard worker. You know, he's smart. You know, I think he knows the game inside out. But it's just, you know, just repetition. You know, I feel like it's just all confidence with like young guys, because, you know, I struggled with that at first because it's a whole different game. So, you know, I feel like, you know, just telling him just to stay calm and in situations, I feel like it's helping him.
And another thing with Z, he's very mature for his age as well. I didn't even know he was that young.
I thought he was 21 years old. I think
yeah, for real. Yeah, but yeah, he's very mature, and I feel like that helps him as well. He'll be able to help us a lot this season.
Of course, they're talking about Zeiqui Lawton, who we're going to be having on the show here very shortly.
Let me ask you this, because we used to have, as an offensive lineman, there'd be a tier of chemistry in the position room, right? And older guys would, of course, rip on the younger guys. What's your chemistry like in your D-line room?
I feel like,
'cause I know it's something.
I feel like we just attack each other. Like, it's kind of just like a young guy might attack me, or I might attack him. It's just I feel like it's just, you know, back and forth.
Yeah, it is back and forth.
It's all
one big family for real with Greedy Gang. That's why I love playing with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, in that team position room, like, all of us, we just get together, laugh, have a good time, talk about whatever we talk about, and it's just family for real.
All right, come fall, what do you want this identity of the defensive line to be?
Greedy Gang. Like, everybody greedy. Like, every TFL, sack, tackle, anything. Not even only with that, your technique. Because I feel like that's one thing we could get better on is our hand placement technique. So I feel like we just need to be greedy with everything we do. Like,
So one time when greedy is good, right, Wolf?
Absolutely. I like greedy gang. In fact, it didn't even take him half a second to answer that.
I know,
He
right?
knew right off the bat.
I love it. That's good.
You know, and Amanda and I have been asking everyone so far in these podcasts, what is the locker room like for you guys? How is the spirit? It seems like there's a lot of positivity. You guys go ahead and answer. I don't want to answer for you.
I mean, I feel like, you know, it's all positivity. You know, I feel like, you know, obviously like, there's gonna be some days when you might be negative or down, you're feeling stuff like that. That just happens because you're up every day at 6 a.m. You're tired, you're beat up, so it's kind of just it's natural. But I just feel like, you know, as older guys, you know, I feel like we're just watching over these young guys.
There you go. But making sure, like, as far as, like, with the plays, helping them out with the plays, because the playbook it can be difficult for some young guys coming in, because, you know, when you're in high school and you rushing on defense, you really don't got that many plays. So coming to college, just helping them with any little thing they need help with. They might come to one of us for advice or anything. We just there for them as big brother.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us inside the studio this week. And if you see a girl with a Greedy Gang t-shirt, That's me.
All right.
I'm gonna, right, there we go.
We're trying to get some gear set up for that, like shirts, hoodies, like
You can do that now. Welcome to the NIL world.
You know what? That's an idea.
I know, right?
That's an idea.
if anybody's
Dang
gonna
it.
watch this podcast, and I need y'all guys to buy it. Yeah.
All right, Dante, Taijh, thank you so much.
No
Good luck
problem.
this year, and we'll definitely be rooting for you. All right, coming up next, we're going to have Sean Martin and Jalen Thornton in the studio with us. Stay with us. You are watching Climbing the Mountain. We'll be right back. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain. We now have Sean Martin and we have Jalen Thornton joining us in the studio. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys making time for us. First of all, let's just talk about spring practice. How is it going and how excited are you guys to get out there on Saturday and kind of show the fans what y'all have been working on? Are you excited?
Yeah, it's getting chippy out there. We're definitely getting after it. We're putting in a couple new things, new personnel sets to go against the offense. And after going against the same people over and over and over again, it does get a little annoying, but that's the process. It's an everyday thing, and we're happy to get out there as much as we can and try and get better.
Sean, what do you think?
I'm super excited. I'm ready for the season to start. It's kind of getting annoying, like Jaden said, to play against offense every day. But I feel like we got better as a defense and as a whole team, just working against each other each and every day.
How nice has it been to have a full entire spring of practice, and how much of an advantage will that be when it comes fall?
Oh, it's vital because I think last spring was my first spring and going into my fourth year. So you want to get as many reps as you can, and you can never go out there and practice enough.
So I don't know if you know this, Amanda. So you have Jalen, okay, JT. Now, his father was John Thornton, right? And I gave him the nickname Thunder, which believe he kept all the way through and still does.
He did,
Answers to Thunder. And then, of course, you have Sean's grandfather, Duck Riley, who was a great father. We have a legacy team here
Yes,
today.
we do. Yes, we do.
It's really cool. Now, so I'm going to say that. What is it like to have come here and having a relative, whether your father or grandfather, because, I'm a legacy player too, or was, I should say. But what is it like for you guys to come here, play, and then keep up to the standards of what they set?
I don't really feel like it's like a burden on me because he played a totally different position than I did. So, I feel like it's easier on me. But, he had a huge impact on me coming here. So, I respect him for it.
Definitely not a burden. If you put the burden on yourself, then it does get stressful at times. But Coach Jackson just always tells us to be us. Like, we can't be anybody else than ourselves, and just use our skills to our advantage. And that's something I'll look at down the road and realize how thankful I am for that.
Let's talk about spring practice so far. One thing that Coach Jackson talked about that he really wanted you guys to work on as a unit is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel that has gone this spring? And do you see more of a consistent play, consistent success so far throughout this spring practice?
I do. I think over time, when you try to get better at each position, because we all don't, like he plays 3-tech and then I'll play a little bit of 3-tech and I play nose. I think once you get comfortable doing a lot of things, the consistency starts to come in.
Let me ask you this. What is good? I ask this of everybody, but now because I've been with the defensive line guys here, what is good about the greedy gang?
That we all eat, honestly. We make plays. We all going to get excited for each other, but if we all make sacks, TFLs in practice, we're going to be happy about it.
We got a good mix of personalities on the team, yeah, and specifically in the greedy gang.
Specifically, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
that chemistry pretty good in the room, huh?
Mm-hmm, it is. We got all the guys back from last year, except for one, but it's a good group, and I'm excited to see what we can do this year.
Defense has really made a name for itself the past couple of years with this football team. How important is it to keep up that standard and go higher this fall?
I feel like Coach Leslie has told us that we've been consistent with keeping the standard that, I feel like we got better throughout the spring, and that we just got to keep doing it the rest of the 2 practices.
What about you, Jalen?
It can be contagious with the entire defense. when we're out there running, making plays, everybody sees that and everybody wants to make plays too. Like Marcus Floyd had a big pick today and we all ran down to the end zone. Like that type of stuff matters, that we care for everybody making plays out there. But at the same time, you just got to go out there and you got to do your job.
Who's the jokester in the room? Is it Sean?
No.
You seem like the jokester right now. No?
Taurus.
Okay, very good. Now, speaking of that, though, being as you are the greedy gang, and you've already mentioned those TFLs and those sacks, what does this defensive scheme do for you guys? Like, why are you excited about playing in this defense? And also, did it help you when you were recruited here? Did this defensive scheme bring you as a defensive lineman to WVU?
When I was in high school, I didn't really know any type of schemes. Like my high school ain't just like the biggest thing in the world, but we just played ball, honestly. But like Coach Leslie, I feel like he's been easier on us, just giving us the opportunity just to play instead of focusing on just the big part about the play. Like just focus more on fundamentals and just make sure we do the right things, like the right steps. Striking hands, like just fundamentals.
I was recruited. They were running that 3-3 still, right? The stack.
Were you there? Okay, I wasn't
with
that,
Dan. I've always been with Neil on that. But when I was getting recruited, it was the 3-3 stack, and they always played head up. And you gotta be a little bigger because you're taking on double teams, and most of the guys were like 290 plus, 300. I'm not that, but I think the good thing about this scheme is that you can just line up and go. Like you don't really gotta eat blocks. Like Coach Jackson has never been a guy who just wants us to go out there and give stats to the linebackers. He hates that. So the good thing is getting on the ball and just going, playing.
Yeah, it certainly seems to me that through the years, West Virginia's had a tougher time recruiting defensive linemen because of a different type of a scheme. And this, to me, seems like, wow, you really got your opportunity to get those TFLs and those sacks. So absolutely, I agree with you there. Now, let me ask you this question. With that being said, do you like being moved around? As Coach Jackson has said, he likes to move you around, but with versatility. Mm-hmm. And if you have that versatility, then you can do many more things. Does that apply to your game?
Absolutely. And like just for anybody who's trying to make it to college or even make it to the NFL, you can't just do one thing because some people run a 4-3, some people run a 3-3-5, some people run a 5-2. So the more things you can do, the better.
Yeah.
I agree with what Jalen said. Freshman year, I came in at defense end, I didn't really want to play it, and then they moved me to 3 technique. And then I guess now, just learning both positions helps me out more, helps me get faster get off, just be able to play better, I guess.
You guys are so quiet, calm, cool, and collected here in the studio. What gets you fired up on the field? I'm imagining you guys are different people out there. Like, what gets you fired up out there?
I feel like what gets me fired up is when somebody tries to trash talk me. And then
should I trash talk you then? Would that get you fired up? Good thing there's a piece of glass between us. What about you, Jalen? What gets you fired up out there on the field as a player?
Honestly, just seeing everybody succeed. Honestly, you can't play this game, specifically defense, without heart and passion and grit. And when you see the emotions come out after someone makes a huge play, it's like that makes me want to go make a play. And I see that the camaraderie we have on this defense year after year, it's gotten better, and just that's what gets me going, seeing guys make plays. And I'm so excited to see what's going to come this year.
What are you guys looking for individually from your own game to contribute to the D-line as a whole? What do you each specifically want to make sure that you guys are on 100% this season?
I just really want to execute the call and just make sure I do my fundamentals, get better for the season, and then hopefully make plays because the plays will come to you, I guess.
Yeah.
Consistency across the board with whatever the job is, special teams, punt, kickoff return, or if I'm in there in D-line, I want to go make a sack, make a play, because why wouldn't I want to hear my name get called? That's one of the best feelings.
How much pride do you take in being on special teams?
So much. Because that shows, as a big man, they believe in me to go out there and block a kid who's 220, 230, can probably run a lot faster than me. But
Right.
but it's a trust thing. And I'm slowly starting to build that up on the D-line, too, and get a couple reps more there. But special teams is huge, especially if you're trying to go to the NFL, too.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. So when you met with Coach Jackson and at the beginning of spring, what did he tell you? And this is for both of you. What did he tell you that he wanted you to prove on overall, and have you?
He told me that I need to work on my feet work and just my fundamentals and be consistent instead of going up and down each and every day.
Just playing to my strengths, using my hands, staying on edges. First thing he said was, "You're not your dad. Don't be your dad." But, like, that's a good thing because, like, I can just be the best version of me.
You're watching Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast brought to you by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage. There's a lot of depth on this line this year. How nice will that be to know that, okay, if somebody goes out, somebody else can roll in. The level of performance and play is pretty much going to stay the same. How important is that, at your level or at your position, I should say, because, that's tiring. It's grinding. You're very physical. I would imagine the depth is going to be a nice kind of change this year.
I could just remember last year of how tired Dante, Keem, and Taijh was each and every game, and I feel like now that we got people that can actually play this year, like we got better as a D-line, I feel like it'd be easier on all of us just to get 3 plays here and there.
It's very important. Getting a guy like Zeiqui, who's played a little bit of college ball, and we also got to get Eddie V back too. But the experience we're bringing back is huge, and sky's the limit.
Let me ask you this. Now that you are becoming older and getting more involved, you're not the young guys anymore where you're watching the older guys. You're becoming one of them. Where's your thought process in this now, knowing that you have to be a contributor for the Mountaineers?
I just think it's about showing them the right way to do things. All the young guys, like running to the ball, playing hard, and also off-field things too, like going to class, treating people with respect. And because, like, West Virginia football is, like, that's it. Like, that's the bread and butter of West Virginia. So if you're not carrying yourself the right way off the field, like that, if I didn't do that, that would affect him, or that would affect the coaches, or that's just a really bad look. So you want to handle your business the right way.
There's a difference, right, Sean? I mean, now that you're a freshman, or you were a freshman, and now that you're stepped up, you have a little bit of year under you of some playing time. You got to be there. You got to be ready to go, right? It's different. It's different thought process.
I feel like the thing that really helps us out as being young, as coming in, is just like the development group, like working out with Coach Mike during 6 a.m. every day during game week. I feel like the winter workouts, summer workouts really helps us out, and helps us develop our bodies to get us ready to play for. That's older.
What was your first thought process coming in and meeting Mike Joseph and his strength staff?
Oh, my God.
Come on. Go ahead. Be honest with us. Let us know.
I mean, I don't know. COVID hit, so I was just like, everything just changed. From my perspective about it was just like, wow. And then my first workout was with Coach Chad, and that was so hard. So
yeah, Chad was a tough cookie. But Mike, regardless of how great he does his job and day in, day out, I've never seen a person more consistent than him. It's not like one day he's on you and then the other day he just lets you be average. He will never let you be average unless you just don't try, which is just a slap in the face to him, honestly.
Yeah, that's everything we've heard about Mike Joseph. Same thing. Expectations are high, as they should be.
Absolutely.
How excited are you guys to get out there on Saturday and kind of wrap up the spring practice? You're going to have fans. It's going to be a beautiful day. No snow, which is nice.
Yep.
But just kind of the excitement of, running out there, a game, simulation, getting ready for the fall. But how much is this going to mean to you on Saturday?
It means a lot. Anytime you can go out there and represent for the state, it means something. It means something special. And as we're continuing to climb and get better at this whole thing, I think we're going to give the fans something to be proud of. I really do.
Sean?
I mean, I just want to have fun, honestly. I'm ready. It's been a long spring. I'm like, everybody's tired, but we just got 2 more practices. I feel like we can get it through.
Yeah.
Think so.
Okay, so my last question I'm going to say to you is, everybody's been talking about the positivity of the locker room. What is the positivity of the locker room according to you guys?
Just bringing energy every morning. When it's 6 a.m., we tired, just getting everybody ready to practice, work out, whatever we got to do.
I think it's definitely more of a unit, like, around the entire locker room. Because when I first got here, it was kind of like little cliques on, like, every single row and column. We're not as close. We weren't as close then as we are now. And maybe that has something to do with all the funky music we've been playing. I don't know if it's like...
So you're saying
It's a whole other segment. in
positive
itself.
locker room, funky music.
Yeah. Or whatever them Florida boys listen to. Whatever they got going on, it's working, so let's keep doing it.
That's awesome. Well, Jalen and Sean, we appreciate you joining us on Climbing the Mountain. Good luck this season, and have fun on Saturday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, coming up next on Climbing the Mountain, Jordan Jefferson and Zeiqui Lawton will be joining us here in the studio. Stay with us. This Climbing the Mountain video podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. This is our final segment of Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance and Country Roads Trust. We've had a great show, Wolf, and we are going to end this with a bang. We have Jordan Jefferson and Zeiqui Lawton in the studio with us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Z, let's start with you. I bet you are just super excited to get out there. You haven't even played one down, one snap of any kind of college football. You're a transfer from Cincinnati. How hungry and ready are you to get out there on Saturday?
Yeah, see, I'm very hungry. I mean, my last time playing was in high school, so sitting out that long, can't wait to get out there. For sure. First spring game, can't wait to put on. From home state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has spring practice been for you?
It's been good. It's been good. I've been adjusting to the new system. Guys been helping me, older guys been helping me and getting me better for sure. Yeah.
Guys like Jordan Jefferson here. Jordan, talk about just your spring practice and what you've been working on personally, getting ready for the spring game and, of course, looking ahead to the fall.
It's spring's been going good. We're getting a lot of reps and, got a bigger role now. Really been more so for me, just been working on, basic stuff, just a lot of mental stuff, getting the game down like that. But it's been good,
JJ, let me ask you this. How much you bench, man? And power clean and squat. What are your numbers?
So the most I ever benched was 475. Most I ever squatted was like 650. But that was easy. And then the most I ever cleaned was 405.
Oh, that's what I do.
405.
Same numbers.
Wow, okay. So let's just say those are pretty good numbers.
Not bad.
And I think
Not
I actually
bad.
could be the best on the team if I'm right. So that's pretty good. Z, what do you see? What do you see this guy here putting up those numbers? And of course, you're just nothing but a freshman, just growing into who you are. How does that inspire you in the weight room?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me hungry. It pushes me to want to get to where he's at and be that strong one day for sure. Yeah.
Nazee, you're from Charleston, West Virginia originally. Talk about your decision to go to Cincinnati and then your decision to leave and come here and play in your home state.
All right, got you. Yeah, coming out of high school, didn't want to stay home. So that's how I ended up in Cincinnati. I got out there and seen the city life went for me. So I wanted to hit the portal and come back home, and that's what I did. And I like it for sure.
Talk about just your expectations for yourself. I mean, the coaches have been really high on you. The players have been really high on you. How are you feeling about you?
Man, I'm feeling good about myself. I've been going hard every day, improving. So I just want to help these guys contribute to them as much as I can, being a young guy.
JJ, let me ask you this. You played as a freshman quite a bit, and your strength was there, kind of like a Zach Frazier-ish. I've only seen two people really as strong as you and Zach in that time. What was your upbringing why were you so strong? You're just a natural strong guy, I imagine, but you must have put a lot of work in the weight room.
Yes, sir. So my pop said I was naturally strong growing up. And so my dad lifted heavy. He did all that weightlifting, and then he trained and stuff like that. So I always wanted to be with him, and so I watched him do it, and I always wanted to do it. And so growing up, then that's just how it just took over, and then I just loved it.
Did you compete?
Yes, sir.
Powerlifting, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And see, what about you? What is your background in the weight room in South Charleston, I believe, high school, right?
Yeah.
How much did you have to train?
I mean, I trained pretty hard in high school. My freshman year coming in, I benched 325. So I've been pretty strong, but not as strong as him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, there's super, then there's freak, and there's super freak.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've proven that he's that level, so don't feel bad whatsoever. That's a nice job. Let me ask you this. You were offered by a lot of Power 5 schools. And you went to Cincinnati. Now, we know what kind of year they had. And so it was obviously a choice that had reasoning behind it. But what made you choose to go to a G5 instead of a Power 5?
Well, coming out of high school, those guys recruited me pretty hard. And I liked the staff they had there. And after I signed, Marcus Freeman ended up leaving. So things kind of changed once that happened. But, I mean, they kept telling me it didn't matter. Power 5, G5 didn't matter. As long as you go out and ball, you can make it anywhere. Yeah.
What's it like for you guys? You guys are out there, the D-line. I mean, you're just the first line of defense. You're just out there, like, your strength, just going out there and tackling guys and manhandling guys. Like, what's that like? For somebody like me who doesn't know what that's like, what kind of, like, pleasure and just, what kind of a high does that give you during a game? To be able to, like, just take a guy and, put him on his what?
Yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
So you're saying, like, in an arm wrestling contest, I've got no shot with you?
Oh, no.
No, nothing. All right. I didn't think so.
I asked Taijh and Dante this. The defensive line scheme is an aggressive scheme. It's where you get an opportunity to actually make the tackles, make the plays, as opposed to taking an offensive block and then linebackers or safeties make the plays. And how do you like this scheme? And what is Coach Jackson? What's he done for you?
So with me, I like Coach Jackson. I mean, cool coach, cool guy. He helps me a lot with my technique. Being fresh out of high school and not playing yet, he helps me a lot on that. I definitely like the scheme too. It's aggressive. Run around, play free.
Yeah, I like the scheme. It's my fourth year in the scheme, and it basically makes me feel natural. Coach Leslie simplifies the game plan. It's not hard. We have checks and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's just like Coach said, if you can knock stuff back and wreak havoc, that's really all that matters. And then so I like that.
Can you guys talk about the team chemistry, this whole video podcast? It just seems like everybody is really positive. All of the groups are really tight, getting to know other groups, other positions on the team. What's that team chemistry like? And especially for you, Z, being a newcomer, and you being a veteran, obviously, just kind of like how are things meshing between everybody right now?
I feel like it's pretty good because during one of the workouts, we all different groups work out together, like O-line, D-line work out together so we can build that bond and not just be separate, just a D-line thing, just everybody on defense just be locked in, everybody tight.
Yeah, like what Z said, it's the same thing. Just like, we work out together, then we eat dinner together. It's just like a real big chemistry. And then also like our same position group chemistry, like that's big as well. Like we're real big on that, and we all close, and so it contributes to the overall team chemistry.
Yeah, I talked to, of course, Dante and Taijh, and they said, I asked them, what's that chemistry like in that position room? And they said you're all a bunch of jokers. Yeah. Who's the biggest joker?
Probably me and Taurus.
Yeah.
You and Taurus?
Yeah, probably me and Taurus.
You're so soft, spoken, really?
When we say you and Taurus, give me an idea. What's the ripping like? Because I understand what that is. I've been through it. I've taken it and I've given it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's real funny. It's just like, because, as a D-lineman, every once in a while you're going to have one of those players who's just like, what are you doing? And then so, then we have one of those that come up, and then we just start talking about them. Then we start comparing them to other people. It's funny. We call Braden Dudley, we call him Skeeter. So, it's just at the end of the day, it's just like a big family. We just all big brothers, and we all mess with each other. We all love each other. And, Coach Jackson. So that's really just how it is.
There's that positivity again.
I know. Right? I love it, right? It's contagious. Hey, Z, what's it going to be like for you to run out Milan Puskar Stadium Saturday and play? And obviously this is your home state. I don't know if you grew up a Mountaineer fan, but just what's that going to be like for you to go out there and your first collegiate game?
Yeah, it's going to be very fun. A lot of excitement, nervousness, everything, just because growing up in West Virginia and coming out running that stadium, seeing all the fans and my people from back home watching me, it's going to be big, for sure.
What's been good about spring practice? I mean, talk about the defensive line, in general. What do you think is good that's going on right now? And what do you think maybe we got to tweak some things for sure in the offseason going into the fall?
Being consistent, I feel like. Every day being consistent, coming out and everybody being consistent, doing their job, their alignment, assignment, things like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's more of a consistent thing. That's the one thing that we're working on, and we actually gotten a lot better at it, you know. But once I think like there's more that we can get to, so more of a consistency thing.
For sure.
Yeah, let me ask you this: when you had your meetings with AJ, Coach AJ, right? What was the thing he told you that you had to get better at? And do you think that you've improved on that? This is for both of you right there.
So Coach really told me it was more of a flexibility issue. You know, he said I can move a lot of weight. He said, but I'll get to a point to where I'm moving a lot of weight and everything gets compact, and then it gets me stiff sometimes. So he just told me work on flexibility, and he also told me work on coming into that old guy role, the kind of leadership role. Because, you know, like I'm not a really vocal guy. Like I don't talk a lot. But he just said try to come out of your shell a little bit. So that's really a few things that we had talked about in our meeting.
You're watching Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast brought to you by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage. There is a lot of depth this year at the D-line. How nice will that be to know that, okay, I can go and take a breather. Somebody's going to come in, play at the same level, and, you know, you can kind of rotate in and out and know that the talent level is not going to fall off.
It feels real good, actually, out there playing a lot of plays, tired. You want somebody to come in and replace you and actually do their job and have an impact on the field. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good, you know, because I feel like everybody's going to get a chance, opportunity to eat and prove themselves, you know. And then, like I said, it takes some of the load off everybody. You know, even amount of steps keeps everybody fresh. So we keep fresh, and then fourth quarter, we're still coming.
For sure. The identity of this team the past couple of years, it's all been about defense, and you know, the statistics and all that kind of good stuff. You know, how important is it to keep living up to the standards that the defense has pretty much set the past couple of years?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, Coach Leslie doesn't lower the standard for anything. He said, I understand, like, you're going to have bad days. He said, but the standard's the standard. So it's like, so he doesn't lower the standard, we don't lower the standard. We all, like, we have that standard that we have to live up to every day, even in practice. You know, so it helps us when we go into the game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a new guy, so me coming here, I mean, they told me about the standard, and I got it right away and got straight to it. Uphold the standard for sure.
Now, what do you guys call yourselves?
Greedy gang.
The greedy gang. Yeah.
There it is again.
Excellent. Absolutely. Well, we're going to have to get some kind of
I'm going to have a shirt made up. If you see a girl in the stands, that's me, with the Greedy Gang shirt.
Absolutely. Let me ask you guys this, okay? This is individual, so it's both of you. And who was the player that you liked, that you wanted to emulate, whether it be defensive line or just a guy that was your hero in the NFL?
Mine is Ed Oliver. Guy similar stature to me and stuff like that. So that's the guy I looked up to.
You mean with the Bills?
Yeah.
Ed Oliver.
Yeah, Ed Oliver.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because, I'm a Buffalo fan. You didn't know that probably, but I am a big Bills fan, so that's a good call. What about you?
I like Chris Jones and Kenny Clark for the Green Bay Packers. But
why'd you choose that?
Because he's a real strong guy. He pushes the pocket, and he uses his strength to his ability. Elite run stopper. And I like watching old clips. Randall Johnson, I think it is.
Randall Johnson, yeah.
D-Lineman for the Vikings. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
my brother played with him, and boy, he was something else. But let me ask you this. So that's got to mean that you got one thing. Your favorite move has got to be the bull rush.
Yes, sir. Easily. Bull rush.
I already know it. I've already been watching you play, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. I see those centers and those guards going backwards, and you do a good job. What about you? What's your favorite move?
My favorite move, I like to spin. I'm a spinner, so go upfield and counter in with a spin. Yeah.
Now, do you like a spin? Do you set them up for the spin, like attack the opposite side and then spin?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. You got to be careful though, because you can get caught in the ribs, right?
Yeah,
As an offensive lineman, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
when you do this independent hand stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very good because if you can get an offensive lineman to bite on you, you'll have great chance of success.
No doubt.
All right. Well, Z, JJ, thank you so much for joining us, and we're rooting for you. Can't wait to see you play on Saturday, and obviously this Saturday, and Saturdays in the fall, I should say. So this has been a great show. This is our last regular season kind of show. Next week, we're going to have a wrap-up show after the annual Gold Blue game. Of course, you can still get tickets, just $10, and see these guys play. The game's at 1 o'clock, and I believe you and I are on the ESPN Plus broadcast together with Andrew Caridi.
We're gonna be calling it like we see it. All right, so we're gonna be
Tough.
grading you guys. All right,
So that's good.
good deal. Hey, good luck for you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
good luck.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget you can find Country Roads Trust on social media. You can also just listen to this podcast, audio version, on Anchor and Spotify and Amazon Music. So for Dale Wolfley and myself and our entire crew, which also includes Austin Michaels, our video editor, and Ross Justice, our audio engineer, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for one more episode next week.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Climbing the Mountain, presented to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance.